ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, the sensory and motor organs, and the life force all become healthy and efficient. All is verily the one without second, absolutely blissful existence itself. Let me never deny this truth of blissful oneness. Let this truth never reject me either. May all the blessed qualities described in the Upanishads as necessary for experiencing this truth of oneness be those qualities with me. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the divine self of ours, which is beyond all names and forms, beyond time and space. And is luminous and blissful in nature. Let us feel that in our heart, and let us feel that all names and forms, all separateness, all imaginary individualities be dissolved in this luminous, blissful ocean of oneness. desires. Thus all anxiety, suffering are gone. The same, one without second, all pervading self appears in all names and forms, in all apparent individualities and egos. Without actually any change. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, let us begin today's discussion. And most of you, almost all of you, are attending things online still. People are not still allowed to come to protect themselves, to protect others from the virus. But because of the blessing of internet, we still are able to study, learn these things from the great sages, even though this beautiful chapel is mostly empty, as you can see, but I see it to be filled also virtually. It is as if all of you are actually virtually here. So let us begin with the recital of the regular opening prayers, and you can, wherever you are, please join in chanting. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the combination of in whom the world of the three gunas subsist, just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So, with this meditation on supreme truth, let us begin where we actually had stopped during our last Friday's discussion, that it is the dialogue between Brahma and his son Narada is going on. This is being narrated by Shuka to Parikshit in his answer to his question, that, well, how this all creation proceeds from that one. It is, you told me how this whole universe just in samadhi merges in God, how in meditation we gradually go from various gross things to subtler, finer, and then we thus merge into the one. The variety goes back to one. But now I am wondering by what power, how this one, that is, there is nothing else, how that one manifests itself. And then Shuka just chanted the glory of the Lord, that how the Lord is immeasurable. God's glory cannot be described, cannot be caught, cannot be logically analyzed. It is, our logic is just one tiny manifestation of the power of the Lord. That Lord appears in various ways as all this. I told you about Brahma. And then that Brahma described all this to his son Narada. So let us begin it there, that how Narada is being instructed in this by Brahma. Brahma, we saw that it is as it were the biggest thing about this universe, the one who in his individuality contains all manifestations. That is, and from there they come out as it were. Therefore he is called the creator. So, and Shuka had earlier told that how with this the meditations on this Brahma, that it is that how all the different desires are fulfilled uh, because the Supreme One is to be worshipped. But most people do not really want that divine realization, do not want to get that divine. They want some other desires to be fulfilled through the connection with that divine. That is how most of us have our devotion. We do not want God, we want from God. That, oh God, give me this. Oh God, by your blessings, you are all powerful. So by your blessings, may this happen, may that happen, and so forth. Our minds, which are full of desires, even though we understand that being desireless is the supreme state, and desires are actually the torments in life, but we are not able to get rid of it. Even when we remove them from our conscious mind, they still are in subconscious and make their head up from time to time. They just bring out without even our being conscious of it. Our actions indicate that there are these hidden desires. And so unconsciously the prayers for all such things come up. And therefore, let me read out just a small passage about it, that how various different things can be attained through this worship to God in different ways. So Shuka told, I have been answering your question. What is it that thoughtful men, especially those who are approaching death, should bestow their serious attention upon? One who desires to have the luster of Vedic learning should adore Brahma, from whom the Vedas have come. Those who seek power of the senses should worship Indra, because Indra is the deity, that presiding deity of all different organs. So, and again, such things are described. Those who desire progeny, they should worship that god as Prajapati. Prajapati means the great or the king of all the progeny, Praja. So it is, the word Praja comes from the root Ja, means to be born. So it is that it is Praja is that which is all born, and then the one who governs that process is called therefore Prajapati. So these are all different manifestations of God. So according to the desires, people worship, and they get whatever desires they were asking for, they get fulfilled. But then they have to suffer also because of those. It is like whatever in a restaurant you order, okay, you get it, and then you get the bill also for it. So you ask something, okay, God will grant that if you properly, sincerely ask that. But then you will get the corresponding bill too, means you will have to suffer too because of those. So this is how all people worship. So Brahma's worship is specifically mentioned here. Those who want to have these various different knowledge of the Vedas, all the different things they learn, so that learning may that manifest, so they should worship Brahma. And then it is the further it is described now that after Shuka's hymn to the Lord, then we started looking at this, that the Brahma, his story, that Narada was praising then Brahma and requesting him to tell that how all this variety just sprang up from that one. You are the creator, Brahma, so you must know it. I heard that you created it, and then therefore you should be in the know of everything. So please explain me in details how from that one you made all this many. Because in the minds of us, the many have importance. The one is considered in a way useless, like the one big heap of clay is not paying much attention to, but when various pots are made from that heap, the clay of that heap, from that you make various pots, variously paint them, then they find various different uses, and thus we find some use to that clay. One, we wonder what is the use of it, it is even if you are just asked to remain alone. Many are facing these psychological issues these days because of being asked to stay at home, don't go out, don't mix with anybody, just stay at home. So they naturally feel bored. What is to be done now? It is, and if they are really to remain one, imagine no phones. Just imagine, not that they will go, but just imagine that no phones, no TV, no internet, not even books to read. They have to remain just alone. Soon it will become so boring. Loneliness, a person will become just deranged, mad. It is, I heard that many very hardened criminals, and the police want to get them, reveal them some information that they know about other criminal activities. So, but they are so hardened, they don't reveal. So, as one of the tortures, psychological tortures, they are put in solitary confinement, nothing there. And the person starts becoming, after a while, it becomes unbearable. And so, is for the sake of, being with others, seeing the outer world, at least even within prison, the fellow says, okay, I will tell something. So, what I mean is it becomes terribly torturous, just one without second. Most of us cannot tolerate it. But therefore this idea of one becoming many, it is very interesting for people how God made this world. In all religions you will see this aspect is very much to the heart of the people. Hey, so how God made this universe? See Bible or see many Indian epics, Puranas, like this one Bhagavat Purana, or any scripture that you can think of, that how God created this creation by God. And so it is the people are interested in that. Therefore the Vedas also describe this. But while describing here, the Narada thinks therefore that the creator is everything. And so Brahma, his dad, must know everything. But after all, in Vedanta, in Hindu scriptures like this Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, creation is just delegated to Brahma by the Lord who is beyond creation. The Lord does not create, but has somebody at his disposal, the Brahma, who has been told, you create. So therefore, that here you see that Brahma, that it is, he tells Brahma, Father, please speak to me that knowledge which reveals the truth of the Atman. O Lord, what is that manifests this universe? On what is it based? From what it originated? And into what it resolves? Who controls it? You are the master of the past, present and future. Everything is just the expression of thy thought. And while Narada is praising his dad, Brahma stops. Oh, no, dear Narada. There is someone above me. Protests Brahma when Narada is telling, oh, you know everything, you do everything. It is all your glory. It has all manifested from your thought. So, you are just in the know of everything. Brahma protests, no, dear, oh my child, no, it is not like that. There is someone above me who is getting everything done from me. So, we see this dialogue, my dear son Narada, while what you have spoken about me is not totally untrue, but you have said all this without knowing that my creative act is only a manifestation of whatever is already in him, the Lord. There is an interesting story that can be told in this context again in the sense I have told that story a few times in classes in different contexts. So Brahma creates and does a good job, but then feels that he is not being given a due credit. God, everybody praises God. It is, they don't praise Brahma. If you see actually, in Indian context, in the that there are very, very few temples dedicated to Brahma. It is, there are, the temples to God, Lord Vishnu. And Brahma is just appearing from the level of Lord Vishnu. So, Lord Vishnu or another manifestation, Lord Shiva, and then the female manifestations of the divine, their image. Everywhere you will see that there are temples. Temples of Brahma are very few. So thinking that I am not giving due honor, Brahma thought one day, now I don't think I should continue this thankless job. For years and years, for a long time, I have been doing all this. But my services are not appreciated. I don't get the appreciation and credit enough. Just made passing reference as if things can happen without me. I do everything here, every little detail is done through my office. And yet, so he got miffed that, and went to Lord with his resignation letter. That Lord, enough, for so many aeons I have been in your service. Now my mind is not there. So I think of resigning. So let me go now. It is time, I think. So Lord said, why continue? You are doing good job. You are not that old. You can continue. Brahma protested, no. It is enough. Enough is enough. This is a thankless job, and working hard day and night without any thought of my own these things satisfaction. It is I have been working at your command for a long time. Enough. Lord said, okay, what can I do? So Brahma comes out, as it were, from the Lord's palace, and as he was going back to his home, he saw a lot of old people rushing there. Everybody had big files in their armpits, some bags around their shoulder, and they were rushing to that palace. And then he was wondering, what is this? So many are going there. Soon there was a long line, a big queue was formed there. I don't know if there was social distancing maintained in them or not. Probably there was no need at that time. But long queue was there. Now he wondered what is going on. So he asked one of them, hey, you guys, what is happening? Where are you all going? You are look to be pretty old people. You are carrying a lot of files and such things with you. What is this? Where are you all rushing? And then one of them said, we all, we are all the previous Brahmas who had resigned. And then we have not been again called. We never got a job again. So now we just heard that the present Brahma has resigned, and so the position is vacant. So we are going now to put our applications to be appointed as Brahma. And then this Brahma thought, my goodness, nothing just is stopped because I don't do. It is, I really am just an instrument, just a clog in the whole thing. It is so he, realizing this, he rushes back to Lord, "Oh Lord, as I came out, I thought that since you have told me, how can I say no to you? I felt very sad. So I am taking my resignation letter back." Lord said, "Okay, come on, no problem." So that is how Brahma had his lesson, that he is not indispensable at all. Nobody in the world is indispensable, even Brahma. Let us remember that. We labor under this superstition, this imagination that I am indispensable. Without me, things cannot go on. Yeah, Yogatmananda may think that this Vedanta society cannot go on if I am not there. What a stupid idea. But then we harbor such thoughts that how much I work, how important I am. You are not important. As they say, the graveyards are full of those who thought themselves to be indispensable. You can think it is, but our ego makes us feel we live in this egocentric world where ego is the master. And thus, without ego, the things do not work here. So I feel without me, how can things work? It is, and when we think, we see that things can go on without me. Then what I do is I shrink my world. At least there I will be respected. Like in there you see in many books that it is a bestseller. And then bestseller of this category in this part of the world means it is maybe on the east side of Providence. This could be the bestseller. Providence, small star city, in that again east side, and in that bestseller in that category. But I want to be best. I want to be the supreme. So if I cannot be supreme everywhere, I shrink my field. That okay, I am supreme amongst this subclass. So that is how we think I must be respected. And if it is not respected, I am not respected everywhere, then I shrink my world. Ultimately, I shrink it to my home, my family. At least I am indispensable for them. At least I am respected by them. And that fellow gets really a big jolt when he or she sees that there also I am not indispensable. Things go without me quite well. So many kids as orphans, they achieve so many things in life, become great. So it is not that I am indispensable in my family. No, I should be indispensable at least for my spouse. Oh no, who cares, you see? That if you are there, fine. If you are not there, the world doesn't stop. Things go on without you also. So therefore, this is a truth that we need to learn, that you are not indispensable at all. Let me tell you my story. I used to think that at every center I was given some work, okay, do it. And I thought I am doing it so well. And nobody will be able to do it as good as I do. It is because of me it is going on so well. So, after about couple of years of my becoming a novice in a center, the head of the center told me, okay, from tomorrow you will be working in other department, that other place. You will have that work allocated to you. And then I said, well, why? I had been doing so well here. And see, if I am taken out like that, this whole work may collapse. I was doing so good work there. Can anybody replace me like this? See the ego, So it is. And then to my surprise, not a happy surprise, but to my surprise I saw even without me that the other person who replaced me is doing equally well, if not better. And then this idea I saw later on, I learned to inspect these things, to see that no, God does everything. It is one Swami there, he told me, why, what are you, fellow? You think you are very intelligent, you are very capable. What are you? Even Swami Vivekananda, he passed away, Ramakrishna mission, he is still going on. He himself said, Vivekananda said, that Swami reminded me about that if Sri Ramakrishna wants, he can make thousands of Vivekananda from specks of dust. So, nobody is indispensable. And this is, being taught through this idea that even Brahma is not indispensable. Brahma knows it very well, and therefore tells his son, look, that it is my creative act is only a manifestation of whatever is already in him. The Supreme God, the changeless, transcendent and immanent reality of the universe. That is above me. That is the reality of everything. And that manifests as this. So therefore, first know this truth, that I don't make on my own. I am just an instrument. Sri Ramakrishna used to impress this idea very much. Think of yourself as the instrument. It is a beautiful idea, very useful in one's spiritual life. He used to sing that beautiful song that I am the machine, O Divine Mother, you are the operator of the machine. So it is that all is your wish, sakali tumari ichha, that ichha moi tara tume, that tumar korma tumi koroma, loge bole kori ame, that your work you go on doing and people feel that I am doing, that I am the machine, ami jantra, tumi jantri, I am just the machine, you are operating that machine. So, friends, let us remember this truth. This is truth. And when we remember the truth, we are better off than remembering that which is not true. So, this is the truth, that God does everything without changing, and therefore the very well-known image of Vishnu, Sheshashayi Vishnu, is it is a very beautiful figurative way of expression, that without any change, Lord creates this universe and manages all affairs of it. Lord Vishnu is just reclining, doesn't move from his place, and still everything in the universe is managed very well by that God without any change. So, Brahma therefore says that it is all God's Maya, which does not affect him, but infatuates all with the ego. So, that is how it is inscrutable. Because this question comes that God must also be then in the sphere of Maya. Maya is a very, very misunderstood word naturally. After all, it is Maya. So you cannot really fathom it fully. Nobody can. It is, as Shankaracharya describes it in Viveka Chudamani, that it neither is and nor is not, nor a combination of the two. Sannapya sannapi ubhayatmika no. It is bhinnapya bhinnapi ubhayatmika no. That it is neither sat, sanna, api, asanna. It is neither real nor unreal, nor a combination of real or unreal. It is inscrutable power of the Lord, inscrutable power of the Lord. Our intellects can never penetrate it. So it just manifests. Even our how, why, when, all that is within Maya. Those who want to, study this a little more, I suggest please read the chapter titled that Absolute and Manifestation in the book Jnana Yoga by Swami Vivekananda. That it is inscrutable basically. The very idea, let me find out Maya, is in Maya. And therefore you cannot really find anything about it. So, and then the question comes, then God also must be then under the spell of Maya? No. No. God is not under spell of Maya. It is power that belongs to God. And so, it is, they say, therefore, Ishvara, God, is Mayadhish, the Lord of Maya. And then the Jiva, it is his subject to Maya. So it is under the spell, is controlled, it is affected by Maya, so is bound. So Maya Baddha, that is bound by Maya, that is the condition of what is called the individual. So this individual is appearance under the spell of Maya. And therefore, let us never commit the folly of asking that how is this jiva made by Maya? How the jiva is that the individual soul, where the Maya is in the individual soul, and how it is, that where it is, how it functions. This is a funny game. I mean, it is so many brilliant brains get obsessed by this question as to who is in Maya. I quoted many times that passage from Shankara's commentary on the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is on the second verse of the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, a very beautiful commentary. So there this question gets raised that where is this Maya? In whom is this Maya? I need to know. Then Shankara asks, what purpose does it serve of you to know in whom the Maya is? Where is it and all that? What purpose does it serve? And the opponent says, because, unless we know where it is, how can we get rid of it? Apparently the answer is quite nice, logical, makes sense, that I have to know where it is so that I can just finish Maya. I have to know where it is. Shankara says, well, the one who has, let that fellow worry about it. Why are you worried? And then this fellow, the cat is now out of the bag, says, but it is in me. Then why are you asking me if you know where it is? So it is like that. There is, this itself is an ignorant trying to find out where the ignorance is. It is not possible in this manner. So, although the question comes again and again, is very intriguing, and many, as I mentioned, many brilliant people break their heads about it. We are experts in wasting our time and energy, So, therefore, even though we know this cannot be answered, we keep on breaking our heads. We may be mathematicians, In mathematics, it is very clear. If there is a contradiction, you just drop it. You reach contradiction, you cannot further do much about it. So, in fact, it proves something opposite to what you had assumed. So, that is in fact a method of proof, that if assuming something, you reach contradiction. So, that means your original assumption has to be dumped. So, because contradiction is contradiction, you can't do much about it. But here, they still want to further keep on grinding that contradiction. So, therefore, that Maya is in us, not in God. Sri Ramakrishna gave a very beautiful analogy that you see, the poison is there in the snake's mouth all the time. But the snake doesn't die because of that. But if the snake bites somebody, then that fellow dies. So it is like that. So Maya goes away when Sri Ramakrishna said, if you recognize it, it goes away. If one can recognize, it is gone. So it is like that. So then he says, now the creation proceeds in Maya, has the following factors. Now this is all in Maya, that the creation is proceeding, that the dravya, the elements, the material. You might remember in the beginning, today's class, the slide was showing that it is the spider web. So in spider web, the spider just brings out all the material from itself, you see. That the spider doesn't need any material from outside, and the spider just brings it out from itself. So similarly, the Lord is the material and efficient cause of this entire universe. So it is the material. And then karma. We divide these different aspects. The work has to be done. The efficient cause, the material is there, but somebody has to work on it. then time, it takes time. That it is not that it can be done without everything, a process means there is time needed for that. So time and space, that gets called together as kala. And then swabhava, nature, and 5 jiva. These are the 5 factors in what we see as creation. And God, without any effort, makes all this and yet does not make anything. This is again a big problem for most of us. If God has made it, God has to take responsibility of it. Yeah, it is why there is this coronavirus and all this suffering that people are undergoing because of that. Who is responsible for that? Well, China or this or that, you can call many names. But ultimately, who is responsible for that? The misery, the suffering is there in this universe, and God who made this is to be held responsible and must be compelled to make amends for it. It is, God said, no, I don't make anything. It is, I don't have, see, I am unchanged. It is, I have not made anything at all. Without making anything, it appears now that if the rope, there is a rope lying there, and then somebody walking in dark thought that it is snake, and then seeing that terrible big snake right there ready to just rush and bite me, all the thoughts come, the fellow gets heart attack and dies. Now who killed him? Did he die by the snake bite? No. Did the snake kill him? Well, in a way. But a non-existent snake killed him. But that rope was there. Did the rope kill? No, rope didn't do anything. Rope didn't become snake. You saw the snake. So Lord, without any change, this fact, friends, can be appreciated, can be felt, and can be experienced only in the depth of meditation. That how this universe gets made without being actually made. So it is without making anything. Now in this, you see, earlier we saw how the many gets merged into one. Now the process is just reversed, upside down, that's all. It is somebody had, a little, a person was a bit cuckoo. So when asked that how that big tall tower was built, then this man thought for a minute and said they must have dug a well, a deep well, and then inverted the well, so that became a tower. Dig a deep well, and then just invert it. So how this process happened? Well, as it went, we saw earlier that how from gross to subtle everything became ultimately one. Now the same process is just to be reversed. These things we have already seen: gross to subtle, effect to cause, tree to seed. Now we have to just go on reversing everything. perceived universe, material gross elements, brain centers and subtle elements. Then from subtle elements you have the ego principle, cosmic intelligence, that is Mahat, and three gunas. And then gradually you get Prakriti, and everything then merges in God. The same thing, just reverse it through that reverse process. Now the subtle to gross, cause to effect, now cosmic intelligence, then ego, endowed with the three gunas, it gets the three powers of knowledge, action, and substantiality. All these things are minor details, really. Minor in the sense, we want to know in details. And we are very particular of wanting to know the details of that which is not real. This is how the Maya acts on us. That so many people studying Vedanta, they spend so much time and energy in trying to see how from this evolved, and how this happened, and how forgetting that it is all the counting, measuring, and seeing the details of that which is not real. Just continuing with the same example, it is like counting that how many dots that snake which was just appearing on the rope. There was no snake, a rope. But then we start counting how many dots are there on that apparent snake, and get PhD for that, you see. So that is how this universe and the knowledge in this universe is about. So this is how then further through the push of the tamas come out. Now the time today is over. We can take up a little discussion of this. But remember, it is God without any change is appearing in this. So this is the take home lesson, that whatever we see as a world like that is actually the undivided, unchanging, ever blissful, divine, one without second reality, the Satchidananda. So a practice that we should keep on doing is seeing the same Lord manifesting as all. That was Sri Ramakrishna's actual perception, friends. So let us remember that, and let us conclude with the closing chant. Nigamakkalpatarurgalitam phalam शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्मुहुः रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Just meditate on this for 30 seconds, and if you have any comments, questions, please bring forth. You must have already typed, I am sure. Yes, please.
There are two questions, both from Charlie. First question is Sri Ramakrishna indispensable?
Sri Ramakrishna is not indispensable, but is most convenient to do the sadhana and spiritual practice. No particularized manifestation is indispensable, but as per our present needs, say Charlie, is food indispensable for Charlie? If everything is, nothing is indispensable, food also is not indispensable. So, if you can dispense with food, then of course, in that sense, Sri Ramakrishna is also not indispensable. You can do away with Sri Ramakrishna. If one can see nothing is indispensable, then God manifesting as Sri Ramakrishna, that also is indispensable. Otherwise, not. Yes.
Second question is meditation indispensable?
Oh, same answer works for this too. That it is, if the food is indispensable, then meditation also is indispensable. So, it is the individual has the needs, and there is the fulfiller of that need. So, if there is that need, as long as that need is, the fulfiller is of that need is also there. So, but yes, you can get that need fulfilled from some other source. Like many restaurants are closed, so many food items that one was used to eat may not be available. So now that doesn't mean the food is not there. You can go and get it from somewhere. It is. So therefore, when one well-known coffee shop was nearby, people used to go from Vedanta Society just close by, walk there. That is closed, but that doesn't mean the coffee is not available. There is another store right there nearby, so they go there. So it is exactly in that sense that if you need something, then the dispenser of that need is indispensable. If you can dispense with that need, then the dispenser of it also can be given off. So that is where the question comes. If we need it, it is indispensable. If we don't need it, if we are above it, and then we don't need it. Yeah.
That's another question. From Bhargavi, respected.
From what?
Bhargavi.
Okay.
Respected Parama Pujya Swamiji, humble pranams to your holy feet. How to get enlightenment, Swamiji?
How to get enlightenment? Well, that is to see, learn to see the truth. That enlightenment means the knowledge. We use this word in common language also. This was an enlightening talk, means it was having the wisdom, and that removed my ignorance about it. So this is when we see the truth that Lord alone is, then we get illumined. That is how one gets illumined. Now, how to see that everything is God? Then we have to do what is called yoga, that has been described, that practice of meditation, practices of various devotional practices. These are all the practices which gradually put this truth in our mind, and thus we start seeing it. If not, we will not see it. So that is called sadhana. spiritual practice. So, as one tries to do that, we will see that our mind gets illumined. We start seeing that God alone is real. That imagination gradually turns into realization. Yeah. So let us conclude with the closing chant. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.